Hey everyone, I'm currently nursing, so that's why I have this cover on. So I did want to get on here and make a video because it's been a while and a lot has actually went on since baby girl has been born. I did actually film a few different clips in the past 2 weeks, but I didn't like the way that they turned out, so I just ended up not uploading it. I felt like the videos were kind of like all over the place, and yeah, so I just wanted to get on here today and update you guys. I actually have myself together for once. This is the first time since baby girl has been born, which was 2 weeks ago, that I've actually gotten myself ready. So I did want to make a video while I look good. Go my hair. She is pulling my hair while she's nursing. So anyways, by the title of this video, you guys know that I got mastitis, and this is true. Within the past week, I developed mastitis in my right breast, and the first night I thought it wasn't mastitis. I just thought my breast was engorged and that's why it hurt and was painful. This happened in the middle of the night, and so like it was even super tender to nurse, but I just got a hot pack and put it on my breast, and I tried feeding baby girl as much as I could on that side. I also tried using a pump, which no milk came out whatsoever, which I thought was weird because my breast was hurting and it was so full, but nothing would come out when I pumped it. The next morning I woke up and I realized that I had a fever, and when I looked at my breast it was red. So at that point I kind of knew that I had mastitis, and so I took 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol, which I'm pretty sure is like the highest dose. You can only take that 4 times a day because you're not supposed to take more than 4,000 milligrams of Tylenol a day. So I took that. I also scheduled an urgent care appointment, and I got there like they opened at 8 and I got there by 8:15. At this point I had the really bad fever. Along with that I had a pounding headache. I was very dizzy and my breast hurt really bad. So I went into the urgent care and they did say I had mastitis. So the doctor there ordered an injection. So I got an injection antibiotic, and then she sent an antibiotic to the pharmacy, an oral antibiotic. But the day continued to go by and I really wasn't feeling any better. And so after I'd taken the second dose of Tylenol and I still had a fever. My fever was between like 100 and 102. That was the highest that it had gotten to, and I just could not break the fever. So I ended up calling my OBGYN office and just letting them know, you know, this is what happened this morning. I got these antibiotics, I'm taking Tylenol and I'm still feeling really bad. Is this normal? What should I do? And the advice that I got from them is to just, you know, continue taking the antibiotics, and that it will take at least 24 hours for me to see an improvement. And they said to come into their office if when I finish the antibiotics I have not gotten better, which is like 10 days away. So all that day all I could really do was sleep. Aside from me having the symptoms that I talked about, I was very sensitive to light, and any noises were also very loud and uncomfortable for me. Oh, and also when I was at the urgent care, my heart rate was at 124 beats per minute, so that was kind of concerning for them. But my other vitals looked good. Obviously I had the fever there as well. They saw that it was 100, and then I had a high heart rate, but my blood pressure was still good. And all that night I again was very sick. My fever actually went up to 103. I could not get it down, and I was still taking this 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol every 6 hours, and none of the doses I was taking was dropping my temperature or breaking my temperature. So I was really concerned with that, and the pain in my breast got even worse. My headache got even worse, and I developed a very stiff, painful neck, which was kind of weird to me. That next day when I woke up and I still had the fever and nothing was changing, by mid-morning I called my OBGYN office again, and they said that, you know, it's just going to take some time for me to feel better and to just rest as much as I can and drink a lot of fluids. I was like, okay, and hung up the phone with them. Went through that whole day, and then by the evening I was really not feeling good. And it was weird because on top of all the symptoms that I just told you guys about, I started feeling very drowsy, as if I had drank alcohol, like I was drunk, and I had not been drinking any alcohol. That was also very concerning to me. I ended up calling the nurse line at the emergency room, and I again told them all of my symptoms, and they said, this is concerning that your fever isn't coming down and that you have a stiff neck, like it doesn't sound like you're in good condition, so I do advise that you go into the emergency room. And thankfully my mom was already over. She had been over the past 2 days. Because of how I was feeling, I had a really hard time getting out of bed or taking care of my older daughter. My younger daughter's pretty easy because she just sleeps and nurses and poops. I mean, it's really not that hard, not that high maintenance. My mom was helping with my older daughter, but then I let her know, hey, I need to go to the hospital. Oh, and I also meant to mention that I looked up how to know if mastitis turns into sepsis, and I didn't even know the symptoms of sepsis at this point, but I was kind of scared. Like, I didn't know why my fever wasn't coming down, and I was feeling so bad. I felt like I was dying, and nothing was helping, and I didn't feel like it was normal. So I looked that up. I didn't really find all that much of how to know if it's turned into sepsis, but I did just go into the emergency room. The emergency room was packed, and when I mean packed, there was maybe one seat in the waiting room left. It was so busy. And so I went to the triage area where the nurse asks you, what brought you in today, and they take your vitals and everything, and then you wait back out in the waiting room until they call you back. And so I let her know. I was 2 days ago I was diagnosed with mastitis. I've been taking antibiotics for 2 days. I've been taking 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol every 6 hours, and I have not been able to break my fever. I have a really stiff, painful neck. I have a pounding headache. I feel like I'm drunk even though I haven't drank any alcohol, and my breast hurts extremely bad. I don't feel like I'm improving at all. And so she was charting all that down. Then she took my blood pressure, my temperature, and my temperature was still at 103, almost 104. And that's another reason why I had called the nurse, because I was almost at 104 temperature with no break in my temperature in 2 days. And so my temperature was still the same. My heart rate was 122 beats per minute, and my blood pressure was 95/58. And I even said to her, I don't know the symptoms of sepsis, but I'm concerned that I could have this. And after she looked at my vitals, she was like, yep, you're definitely septic. We need to get you back immediately so you don't die. And right away, they took me back to a hospital room. And like I said, that hospital room was packed. People had been waiting for a long ass time, and they just got me back immediately. I went back to a room. All of a sudden, they started taking a bunch of blood from me. They hooked me up to IVs. So they gave me IV fluids, 2.5 liters. They also gave me an IV antibiotic and then IV pain medication as well. Then after that, I had to get a chest x-ray because they were checking my heart and lungs, because when you have sepsis, which is a blood infection, if you don't know, it's a life-threatening blood infection, and it accounts for a lot of deaths a year. It's 250,000 deaths a year. But they were checking my heart and lungs because those are the main things that can become infected very quickly, and then with sepsis, it actually kills off those organs because the infected blood is obviously traveling through your heart a lot and through your lungs. The sepsis is what was making my blood pressure so low as well, and so they wanted to make sure that my heart and lungs were not damaged at that point. So they did the chest x-ray, and then they also did an ultrasound of my right breast to make sure that I did not have any abscesses, because that was a high concern for them. And what they saw in the ultrasound is that I did not have any abscesses, but that I had extensive blood flow to my breast, which was a sign that there's a really bad infection, and they could see swelling and kind of tissue hardening. When they drew blood, they had sent off cultures, and I still haven't gotten the result back because that was just a few days ago. But yeah, so they did some cultures and whatnot. It gives them a more in-depth idea of the blood infection. They did all this stuff. The doctor came and let me know that my chest x-ray was good. He let me know about my breast ultrasound and those results. And then I was able to be sent home that night, thank goodness. I was sent home on some stronger antibiotics and also pain medication. And he said that I needed to follow up with both my primary care doctor as well as get a second ultrasound on my breast in I don't know how many days. Like in the next few days I needed to be doing that. That is just like my crazy story. It was insane. I've never felt so sick and so terrible in my whole life. I literally thought I was gonna die. I don't know if I'm gonna include any of the clips from the past few days, maybe like one clip, just because I tried to record and I was literally all over the place. I was having such a hard time and I had no energy. I did end up editing the clips and making it into a video yesterday, but I just didn't like the way it turned out, so I didn't post it, but I may add a few little clips. Hey guys, I was wanting to give you a quick update. So I'm actually feeling worse than before. I was at the doctor around 8:15 and it's just about 12. And like I said, I got an antibiotic shot, antibiotics, and I took Tylenol. I took 1,000 milligrams of Tylenol to help the fever go away. But unfortunately, it has not broken my fever. I took that about 3 hours ago, and my fever is continuing to get higher, and I'm just feeling worse and worse. So I'm pretty miserable, but I'm just hoping soon I feel better. It was so crazy. I've had mastitis with both my other kids when I stopped breastfeeding, and it was never anything this serious or like this. It has been really rough the past 2 weeks. Aside from all this happening, I'm not getting much sleep because baby girl wakes up every 2 to 3 hours as it is. I was like down for the count, you guys. It was so rough, and I'm just now thankfully starting to feel better, but it has been a rough recovery for me so far. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this video and that it was also helpful to some of you new or expecting moms. Just know that mastitis can very quickly and very easily turn into sepsis, because I never knew that and I didn't know the signs either. I think I'm going to include a picture here of, I'll probably like add it into the screen. So I'm going to include a picture of the symptoms of sepsis, because I had literally every single symptom and I didn't even know that I was suffering from sepsis. And if you let it go without getting treated and getting the right antibiotics, you will literally die, because your body shuts down, the infection's in your blood, and it will start traveling to all of your major organs. It's very, very, very scary and serious. I hope this video was helpful to some, just to know what to look out for. And if you ever don't feel right about something, because like I said, my OBGYN's office told me to finish taking the antibiotics, and then if I'm not feeling better, then schedule an appointment with them. And just always listen to your gut, because I knew I was extremely sick. I felt off, like it didn't feel right. And if I wouldn't have went in, I would be in a lot worse place. I just wanted to update you guys as far as how I'm doing. I'm sorry that I've kind of been MIA, but it has been a rough adjustment for me with getting pretty much no sleep and then getting really sick. So thank you guys all for being so patient with me, and I will definitely get you guys an update on baby girl and how I'm doing postpartum in the next, I would say in the next week. You can look out for that. I'll get you guys a newborn update and a postpartum update, aside from all the sickness that I've been going through. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, and also please keep me and my family in your prayers. I am on the road to recovery and feeling better as of now. I'm still healing from birth, and I'm still trying to recover from being very, very sick. So your prayers are highly appreciated. I will show you guys baby girl. I'm sure you guys would like to see her. But other than that, we'll just call it a video. So here's my sweet baby. I love her so much. I still haven't done the name reveal, you guys, and I apologize. Like I said, a lot has been going on lately, and it's just, I haven't been able to do other stuff right now. So thank you for being so patient. I will get a video up with her name at some point as well, hopefully in the next week. And this is my sweet baby girl, and she is 15 days old today. So just a few weeks old. She's just been in the world for 15 days, and she is so sweet. I love her so much, even though she doesn't let me sleep at night. She's so adorable. Like, you can't be angry at her, and she's worth being tired. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will just see you guys next time. Bye!